goes in with the idea that they're always going to be 100%, and they're not going to meet any adversity along their career. They're setting themselves up uh, for a pretty brutal awakening. My experience was, life as a professional athlete. Sometimes life in between injuries, right? Like there's, I had a Achilles rupture before I even had my true first professional contract overseas, and that was 9-10 month recovery. And probably a few years earlier or a decade earlier, that's likely a death sentence for someone who's more quick twitch power type of athlete. And thankfully, thanks to new technology, like I was able to get myself in a position where I was able to perform again. But you know the the process of wrapping your head around managing yourself and dealing with an injury while always maintaining that sort of sense of purpose and direction of your heading. Like I knew I still wanted to go overseas and I wanted to test myself against the best players in the world and the best competition. I played in a World Cup, but the ability to sort of manage yourself, understanding where you want to go, and then deal with some really challenging situations along the. And I'm just only using that as an example. There's athletes everywhere in every sport have to make that sort of personal decision that their current state isn't going to be their end state, and having that sort of vision of where you want to go, and then be able to weather that storm during that particular period of time, because it might be an injury, it might be you don't get selected for that week, maybe the coach decides not to play you, and they want to go in a different, which has happened to me, and it's going to happen to athletes everywhere. It's how do you sort of react to that circumstance, and are you still a positive person who still is able to lean on their own personal values and foundations of who they are and what they do. And I'm a big believer, and I love the pound of rock saying, where it's like not uh, the 100th blow when the rock finally cracks, it's the 99 that came before it, right? That actually make all the difference. And so it's are you able to maintain your ability to continue to pound the rock in the face of challenges, whether injury or not selected or whatever it might be, and still kind of be who you are and maintain yourself in the face of all that. That's really, for me, that was a sort of personal question that I tried to answer every day to the best of my ability. Because, like I said, it's easy to have character, and it's easy to be motivated when everything goes well. You're winning games, and it's sunny outside, and you play in a really good team. But like if your team isn't playing well, you're not playing well. You don't get selected. Are you still that same person that shows up every day trying to get better? Right? Like that's a question that every athlete needs to ask themselves, and hopefully they can look in the mirror and honestly answer that. And I know that's what I try to do.